at this stage of the game. Gubala is trying to get away from Reverie. Reverie putting the damage down, but not quite enough. Axe is able to walk away here, and it looks like it turns into a tier 3 bit of nothing. The tiny toss back. God, they have so much HP. Is Spirit Breaker still the highest HP level 1 hero in the game? I think he is. It shocks me how much HP this guy has early on. It's just nuts. It's bonkers. But it looks like Raccoon wants to dive. He wants that Rubik, but the blood grenades has come out on Raccoon himself, and he goes down. And now Gubala in a bit of trouble. That troll has a wand. Gubala, you need to run, and that's it. That's a double kill in the top lane, straight off the.
Guess which heroes can't be seen by their allies, but basically, if you're in the arena, you can only see in the arena. If you're outside the arena, you can't see in. It's like an impassable barrier kind of thing. You can play some Observer.
Can I just point out Void alive, or brings him to the fight when he needs it. So I like it. I like the Faceless Void ban, but I am more interested to see what the pick is going to be here, because both of these drafts look good, but both series against Team Dog Cage. I have been messaged by many people who have told me that they were super impressed with your gameplay and your team's gameplay last night. So Dire draft seems like the easier draft to execute, but I've been proven wrong before. I'm sure you remember the Venomancer from last night, so let's see what they... Let's see.
But yeah, you can just see how much like this Tiny does, right? This guy got absolutely jibbed in lane, and he does one toss combo, and that's 2/3 of an Invoker's health pool, and that's an 1800 health Invoker. Morphling took Ebb, which means his primary stat is agility.
Nice. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, what's this?
The smoke got broken. Yeah, Tiny broke the smoke. Ball's getting up from the Aegis, but that is another stack for Gachi, and Gachi's doing his best to slip off into the trees. Can they find him? Yep, of course they can. There's the charge. There's the reverse! Big old, massive Reaper Scythe on top of him, and that is more stacks for the stack in the way of bans, picks. Is there like some specific heroes you think are going to come out during the pick phase? That we might expect to see across both games? Talk to me. Wouldn't have that confidence, right?
Mid-Tiny, 1 Necro, 3 Snapfire. I think I actually don't know. All these players play all these positions, and I'm actually really confused about what they're trying to do here. So
Axe snatched it up, and it looks like the Axe secures the Wisdom Rune. I think they're having some fun. I think they're feeling themselves in this game. So good to see that even in a comp setting, these boys can still. Oh, it's going to make everyone in the Dota scenes cringe. But I sometimes even elect to pick up, if I'm having a good lane, to pick up the Locket early on IO. Sometimes pre-mech.
Could just go back into his roots of like playing LD, playing all these really memey pos ones. Maybe they get Gooby on Razor or something. I think it was completely overlooked. I don't even think it was bans. I don't know how to do
I didn't see it. Ursa lurking on the side. In comes Axe with a phenomenal call. Down goes the SD and down goes the Tiny immediately. Huncho gets a stun off in return and doesn't have time to get his ult off. The Morphling doing what he can to put some damage on, but he's of something like a Storm Spirit, right? Oh, EMP goes out. EMP into Whirlwind. The charge is coming though, and Harold needs to back out as fast as he can. I don't think they'll have the damage though. Just a little bit more harassed. Let him.
Farming, he will eventually win them this game if he itemizes correctly and just gets his timings.
Relo on mid, and immediately that huge Mars ult comes. They're chasing, and the Morphling gets the kill, and that is a... Holy shit, that is a lot of gold that goes away the Morphling, and you don't want to be feeding the
That's
Morphling
another
that
1800. That's through, just because it was the most impactful hero on Radiant last game, by far.
Well, they just beat it. Are they confident enough to let it slip through?
A lot of heroes they just can't get them 100 to zeros. They just can't kill them.
Hard to fight against a team that has a 30k lead, you know?
Yeah, that's just... If they weren't 30k up and they would Yeah,
you know,
that's it. If they
we've
lost
seen
to it, they'd ban it. You're right, 100%.
100%, 100%. They might think, you know what, we can deal with it. It didn't cause us any troubles last
Yeah.
time. All the IO was a ball to be thrown around by the Tiny. They'd be wrong. The IO had a huge impact. May just be able to deal with it. Axis got looking bottom. He wants this Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit doesn't catch him. Oh, beautiful call. Finds her in the trees. Huge prediction there, and Johnny goes.
I think maybe with no items, he'd be the highest HP hero, but we're starting to get into the point where the universal heroes that stack up the double circle at the start of the game randomly
I saw a blue ping from Necro. Necro knows they're in there.
But I don't think he can do anything about it. There's no way. They're not set up on that button map. That would have been a 500 gold kill for Harold if he could have got it, but unfortunately they could not slay the Hunch Dog there. He's too strong.
Okay, so we got a 2k lead already. 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Its place. And I don't want to give anyone in my chat the wrong ideas. Please don't start buying Dagon on Axe in my pubs. But it's working, you know? It's working this game.
I think I agree.
Gabala on the edge there trying to deal with the Vengeful Spirit.
Reverie escapes in the back
Oh,
line.
looks like Raccoon is going to charge in, and all of a sudden that Vengeful Spirit might be in a little bit of trouble and is dead. Run, Johnny. There's still a full team.
He wants to play into Shadow Fiends because
Can
you can't play
can we just talk
Tiny
about that? Can we talk about the Zeus? I'm seeing an Axe called into a Zeus ult, and I'm seeing a dead Morphling.
These are like the two most impactful picks on both drafts, right? Get rid of them. They're both gone. There's no way.
Okay.
They might try the Necro again, but I think Garchi could Wind Ranger for AU rejects. Beastmaster ban, same for Slaughter Gang. Are they actually just going to... And the Brood, so it's two of the same bans from the early game.
Rolling it back. Hey, we know how strong Brood has been. Does Johnny just have a magnet on top of him? Because this Moo Cow cannot stop charging immediately at Johnny, and there's no ports to save him this time. Gets a stun out, but it's too late, and the bear is just going to eat him for breakfast.
And that's about entirely, and opting for the Eternal Shroud instead, because of how much damage the toss combo does to you.
Shadowblade on the Spirit Breaker at this stage.
It's going to start getting out of control.
There is a Glipney.
Now that I think about it. But they haven't actually decided what hero is going in what position. This could be a tiny one here. This could still be a wind one. Gooby is on the snap. Okay, it's the +5 tiny. Okay. Possible for mid. Another like brilliant way this all works together is having the tiny as a flex pick makes second pick look really, really good because this is either the +4 or the +2 here. You could always run tiny. It just ends the round of the game.
That has to have been a meme, right? Like, they're gotta be memeing.
No way. Kills at least, right?
And we did see the Shadow Demon having the impact that we expected it to have. Where it was like saving this Morphling, we did have the swaps from Johnny to keep roll. We've got Gucci on Necrophos, Young Harold on Tiny, Gabala on Snapfire, Winxing on Io, Raccoon on Windranger, Huncho George on Invoker.
900 during a big fight. The Aghanim's aura also gets really bigger, so Heartstop aura's only got like an 840 radius, and that just builds up to help him. He's just dying to magical damage from the cow. Just another fighter. I feel like this cow could be second highest damage.
The initiation here from AU Rejects is pretty scary. You've got Axe called off of his Zags. I see RFA's elected to go for the Aether Lens. I like the first item Aether Lens on the Shadow Demon as well. Just allows you to play the fights from the back line. Just doing 6,000 damage at 5 minutes, as Tinies do in 2024. Hey, this Ricochet has caught me off guard as a support far too many times. Now, obviously this seems like a respect ban, and we're seeing things like the Broodmother being banned because they're actually just super strong in the meta right now. Do you think Axe doesn't get caught or doesn't?
He's got a big one. He's not too afraid. I have been seeing a lot of pros do the Ring of Health build on the Ursa. Very, very nice, I think. It keeps you really...
Here, Team AU Rejects looking for the finish.
They're not confident to go for the throne, it seems. Almost a butterfly on the Venge, but I don't even think it's going to... they're my competitors, of course, and I think it's going to be a really hype series.
That is exciting, and that's what I want to hear. I love when their game is competitive. Competitive gaming is what I'm all about.
Brawlhalla, my dreams are answered.
This is what we want to see. This is proper Dota. It's a slobber knocker.
Oh my God,
The only
yeah.
downside is
Hilarious.
trying to keep the camera in the right place at the right time because there's so
Yeah.
much action going on. Speaking,
But he is objectively the core that had the hardest game possible on top. And if you go to like the net worth blocks and go around the 8 minute mark, he is 6 from the top, and by the 10 minute mark, he is top.
you're having a hard game, you still feel like you're in it. Especially as a support player, I often get relegated to 5, and when I see a Barra picked, my heart flutters. It's like being a Storm Spirit and seeing a Maiden or an Ezreal on your team. It's like Spirit Breaker ulting back up into the high ground, and there's the route we were looking for. Toss to try and get that big angry troll off of him, but I don't think he's going anywhere. Young Harold goes down, but it looks like Focus rotating in. Pros have begged this hero to be removed from the game because it is just so strong, and often in these comp scenes you don't see as much attention on it, but it gets a lot of attention in the pro scene. So they lock the IO,
It
what they
happens
could
sometimes.
cook up. Look at this cutie Rubik with his little feather shoulder. His own little green Scardy. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's get this ball on the right. See Salt's Fury. Oh! And Huncho goes on the Undying. He steps out of position and he goes down as well. This game is pretty active, isn't it? There are kills going on. All over the map.
Ceaseless Dirge did act not catch a break in game 2. They're getting absolutely decimated. To say,
They are.
like look at their scorelines: 1-6 Morphling, 2-10 Vengeful Spirit, which is
Flag. It just rubs me the right way, dude. Seeing Jason hanging from a flag like that. Oh, look at the other flag as well. I'm joking. Okay, let's get into this. So, tell me a little bit about these teams. What can we expect to see?
cross and killed him if the IO wasn't in the way, but they really didn't want to break on the IO, of course.
600 gold off the Radiance, so you know,
Yeah.
on the Necro. So, might be looking at that 15-minute timing, maybe even earlier. If you...
Alright, so on Slaughter Gang, we got Huncho George. He's well renowned with a lot of his mid laners. I have a feeling his Snapfire might see some action tonight, maybe some bans. RF.
Not respecting this IO guy. That's what I'm seeing, right? This is the power of IO. This is why it's one of my favorite heroes. People think that this hero is boring. I get told all the time, IO is boring to play. I don't.
Execution on Slaughter Gang to wait out the Aegis, it just didn't matter. He got like no value out of his Aegis, no regen, but it's just too much. They're too far in the hole, I think, at this point, unfortunately.
When did last bear? The bear is on top of the Shadow Demon, but the bear is also underneath 2 towers, and there's a whole lot of armor there to keep those boys safe. Toss back, and out of position, straight to that Sand King. He's stunned under 2 towers, and he is eliminated. And Hyper Cannon, and
Oh my god.
I love that name so much, dude. Give me more Tasmanian Hyper Cannons and less. Oh, Shackle? Is that just tickling him? Power Shot comes back. Spiteful Rubik Power Shot. Yeah, there's a lot of really good vision from Dire that was setting up their axe call, and down goes the Sand King and the Shadow Demon almost immediately. This Vengey needs to be careful. There's the Refresher Orb coming out to get the Tombstone down to give the vision for Team Radiant. They are thinking about it.
Gang's favor, because I will say Radiant's buying a couple silly items, if you ask me. Like the Dagon, been practical. This Axe needs a BKB Shiva's refresher. He needs these types of items to, oh, well, we're in.
Look at that, and we have a draft straight away. And we got look at that beautiful, stunning.
But we don't have an expected winner, I wouldn't say, out of any of these. It could really go any way between like the top 3 or even the top 5.
So put me in the mindset of draft from Radiant. To me, I'm seeing Radiant here with a really oddball draft that they're not going to draft these heroes unless they think they work together, and they might be cooking something away.
He's just charged
Or,
back.
hold up, Shadow Demon ult out, Shivas goes off, Huncho trying to get his ult off, but the Zeus keeps interrupting it, and just like that, Raccoon is just leaving.
No way.
Johnny swaps back Gabal. This huge Radiant team that is 36k's ahead, but he is down as well. Huncho gets the kill onto the Undying, but Gachi is still this big cranky bear, and here comes that annoying fucking cow that has just caused you're gonna see some saves coming out from Shadow Demon if he's in the right place.
Yep.
So Axe Core goes off, Disruption comes out, and all of a sudden, AU Rejects just has to stand there and wait for that. It strikes me, as the time in the game that the Necro might need to start getting involved, because I'm worried. I know that it needs the farm to sort of start to have an impact.
Oh yeah, that'll help him.
Nice little kill from Raccoon. Catches the Tiny with his pants down, and he's too low HP. It's enough to burst him. They're going to try and chase him, but he has so much status resistance that even if they do get the stun off here, he's just...
But they can just go Roche on Radiant if they want. There's so many options to extend their lead even further. Gachi buys full travels.
Can we talk about the fact that we've got the Manta, a whole bunch of damage, and Johnny goes down. There is a bear lurking on the sidelines. No, it's Gubala, once again, jumping on those supports on the back line. Gubala having a phenomenal game, this game. Of a captain of this division. You've got these 7 teams, all pretty spooky. How are you preparing? Are you watching Riyadh at the moment? Because obviously, if you're interested in Dota at all, you
need to pick a flexible carry that doesn't have many matchup like losses. So in that position, you could pick like an Ursa, you could pick a Juggernaut, you could pick
What's wrong with me? Why can't I?
Garbage hero in the patch. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not seeing it anywhere on Dota Pro Tracker, and yet it's in all the games that I'm casting. Why? Why does this hero keep getting picked up?
It depends on... First of all, you need a Rubik.
Needs to be a little bit more careful. This Morphling is going to be having nightmares. He's going to be waking up in hot sweats with this big red grin in his face. Wisdom gets stolen in the dire off lane. Toss back. George on Sand King, Prey on Tiny, Johnny on Vengeful Spirit, RFA on Shadow Demon, and Reverie on Morphling. Now Johnny on Vengeful Spirit makes Vengeful Spirit a 3. He needs to be careful here. He gets the stun out in return, but it looks like there is some dust on top of that big space cow, and in just a moment we'll see a dunk on top of Huncho. RFA can't save him from that one.
The Dagon cop.
There's the stun from Spirit Breaker, who decides to use his ult to push him further out of position. The whole team is there and trying to kill Gachi, but he does have the support of the Io, and the Io will give him some pretty big sustain if he sticks close to him.
He's not dying just yet. In these early...
Charge comes out, and they found Raccoon again. Raccoon playing forward. The reload is coming in, and in comes our big... Oh my god, if that toss damage is just...
crappy lane with the rotations, like being 2-0-1. He's not like tanking deaths randomly. It's pretty happy. It's all going to be up to Ken Gachi. Like, honestly, can he get his shard and can he get in and not die?
Yesterday or the day before, that ability to give his pos 5, and potentially a core if they're having a bad game, but to give his pos 5 that XP boost, you know, even if you
never know what's gonna happen. He could just randomly get caught out 2 or 3 times here and destabilize the entire game.
Well, that's just Morphling players, right? Sometimes you feed, even the best players in the world. Before he had this Bull Rush talent, Boxy was doing exactly what we're seeing now. Now he has the Bull Rush talent. Like, it's so obnoxious.
Dota.
Yeah, as Prey took the Watcher back, and he's just sort of hiding in position.
Yeah,
that looks like they want to deal with Gachi here, and they're bringing the Sand King down, but already dead. Gachi gets the clap, back on full HP, and that is a team wipe once again on Slaughter Gang.
It may not look like it, but that was perfect placed, although the one placed by Tiny is less likely to get clipped by a sentry. That goes for the high ground.
Double damage
yeah,
top, and Huncho is heading for it.
Very meta ward. The dire vision. 2 wards. One of them old, one of them placed just as the fight breaks out. And it's just turning into a bit of a vision difference here. Necro got a lot of damage out that fight, but it's just nothing in comparison to...
Maybe I'm wrong. But what I was going to say is that you see a lot of this in Australia, the respect that comes out, the, hey, this hero, we know what you can do in it, and we're not giving it to you. Even in the intermediate division, I've been casting a bit of that. A perfect example, absolutely nuts. There it is. Here we go. They've caught all of the Dire team, and they are running as fast as they can. Johnny, you need to get out of there, mate, because there is a whole team here. The IO has gone back. Gubala makes a perfect entry with the IO right by their time.
Oh my god.
Where did all that
so much
damage come from? What? Where's my recap?
Yashakaya and like sometimes you see it on Sand King, sometimes you see it on Venge. They can get up there into the 600s, into the 650s, really early as well. Even Ursa now, this guy's at almost 800.
Oh, Tombstone goes down, and I think Venji to the back.
Venge died bottom. Oh,
Yep.
not the worst movement around the map. I mean, we're just waiting for everything you've said is correct, as well as it's giving him the Lincoln's break, right? Morphling bought the Lincolns so that he doesn't get dunked. The Dagon, even if it's a level 1 Dagon, cuts through the Lincolns and then opens him up to being cold. And I
just a bit of vision, a little bit more chase to sort of get the heroes that you want in sight. So it's really quite good. I'm a big fan of it, but I'm always going to take Promulgate because I'm a lane bully and I prefer to have a secured lane. Shattered Human is dead as well. Toss away, but it doesn't matter. The Tiny goes down. Hunter's here. He wants winching. He wants something in return, and decides to even waste his ult to try and deal with this big punching Undying.
It does counter the Axe's ability to like backlane like this, so I'm not sure why he was trying to do that. If you get put on the ball once, you lose the entire creep wave aggro, and there's like, I don't know.
The rune does spawn on top of the Tiny. He's got it. Does he try and dodge the EMP with the illusion rune? He doesn't, but he might get the kill onto the Spirit Breaker. But here comes Mars, absolutely pins that eye to the wall and says, "No, you're not going to help this Tiny go anywhere." Yeah, on the snap as well. So, well, looks like they've found Necro. Troll immediately on top of him. Charge comes out. Troll's going to just start punching him as fast and hard as he can. And I think
the reason why it fell off a cliff is because when Tiny came in the meta, he could literally two-shot her with 2 tosses. The hero just doesn't have enough health and armor in this stage of the game. And
he donks to that Axis, he just sends Dire straight back to their fountain. They need to be careful now. We got buybacks out on the Morphling. Morphling doing what he can to keep his team in the game. The Crab is alive for now, but the Crab needs to get out of there as fast as he can. But the Bear is just on top of him. Axis.
They revealed the blink on Mars yet? I don't think so. I think he got it after that engagement. Oh, yeah, he shows in late now. Never mind. Yeah, I think Radiant are just gonna drop this tier 1, play the rest of the map.
Smile and have a bit of a laugh.
Yeah. So they do have the shard now on the Undying, even though they... did they get...
Especially when you've got the cow stacking up on top. Who did? Yeah, the cow did 1300 damage.
Good.
The cow did 1300 damage. God,
the last pick Zeus has really paid off here. The Vision game needs to get the Galepnia early, and he never made it to 4-star. That's just how bad of a game he had, unfortunately. And I honestly do think this game would be completely different if top lane actually went well for the AU rejects.
Just unbelievable. And I wonder if IO decides to go for, is it Blitzkrieg or Kritzkrieg, the heal one, the extra magic resistance? Could be pretty good, but then there's not a whole lot of magic team on 8 minutes in, so... Oh, this annoying Spirit Breaker, just zoning him away from any chance of a rune. But IO's come in, there's another power shot. And his team is
Oh,
here. Out comes the ult. Johnny gets the swap off to try and interrupt that Shadow. Oh, hang on. Shadow Demon is on the sideline. Can he throw any Spirit Breaker? He's pinned to that tree. The Invoker's here, and I don't think that Necro is going to be around much longer. Beautiful setup from the boys. Well played.
Yeah.
Well played.
A little bit. Tiny instant from Slaughter Gang.
Yep.
Okay. So I expected the Breaker to get banned, but I guess taking it instead of leaving it on the table is kind of like the same
What do
thing.
you want? Troll loves a strong early start.
One of the better laning carries of the patch as well. There's not really much stronger than a Troll because he gets the Berserker's Rage for free, so he can get ironically, the Dagon's doing so much
now.
work.
Holy, does he actually get dunk stacks off of the Vengeful? He does. I did not know.
don't think he did.
He didn't?
Bottle fill as well, yeah. Notice how the Tinies opted to start with